Disclaimer, this video was actually filmed prior to the Atletico Madrid game, so some of my opinions on certain players has actually changed, so take what I say with a pinch of salt. Enjoy, love you, bye. Hey guys, how's it going, and welcome to the first ever video on my channel. I am a lifelong football fan, and I'm here to give you the latest and greatest football content. You may have seen me over on TikTok, where I now have 17,500 followers, and I love each and every one of you. You guys have made me such a better creator, and I enjoy making so many videos, and I have so many ideas ready and out there prepared for you guys. And if you don't know me, my name is Nick. I am a lifelong Chelsea fan, lifelong football fan, and overall, I like to say a nice guy. And before we get into the video, if you haven't already, make sure you go and hit subscribe and make sure you hit that notification bell so you can never miss one of my videos. While you're down there, make sure to hit that like button. It only takes 2 seconds out of your day, and I would really appreciate if you just go and hit that like button. But let's get on with it. We have a really very original idea. A tier list. This tier list is made up of every single Chelsea player that is in the 2020 to 21 squad list. I'm going to say what Chelsea and Thomas Tuchel should do next season, whether to put each player in the starting 11, squad, the reserves, sent out on loan, or to be sold. Obviously, we have Tommy T. He's going to be the manager. I don't think anything's going to be changing. He's done a great job. We're undefeated in all 8 games, beating Atleti, beating Liverpool. Tommy Train is rolling. Next up, we have Andrin. Now, he's very young. We've only seen him in a few cup games. Done a lot at youth level, scored a lot of goals. Obviously, I think he just needs to be sat on loan. He should not be sold, obviously. We really don't want to fall back into the trap of not using the youth products. Andrew is another prime example. He scored a lot of goals at youth level. Doesn't mean that it's going to transfer into the first team and into the Premier League. No one knows yet. He just needs that first team experience to truly build his confidence and build his game back up. Now we have big old Willy Caballero. His contract is up at the end of the season, I'm pretty sure. Whether we keep him, I don't know, as the third choice as he is right now. He's always good to have. He's always good to be there for experience. But if we are able to go and sign Gianluigi Donnarumma this summer, that would push everyone back into place. But I'm not sure Kepa would want to be the third choice. I'm going to say we're going to let Willy go. It's between reserves and sell. I think I'm just going to pop him in sell. He's nearing the real end of his career, and whether we want to give him another contract, I don't know. I think it's best we just move him on. Next up, we have Lewis Baker. Same situation as Andrin. I think just need to send him out on loan. Same as Conor Gallagher going out to West Bromwich Albion at the start of the season. These guys just need some first team experience. Just be sent out on loan. Someone in the championship would be great for him. Next, we have Dave. Cesar Azpilicueta. One of the best bargains in Premier League history, in my opinion. He is a true Chelsea icon already. He's won almost everything with Chelsea. I think whether he'll be in the starting 11 next year, especially if we go and buy a centre-back, I don't know. I'm just going to base it off of the current squad we have. Oh, man. Thiago Silva extends his contract. I don't think there's a place. I'm just going to say he's going to be a squad member for now. Great voice. He's obviously the captain of the club. But I think he will just be a squad player for next season. Next up, we have the relived and the revitalized Marcos Alonso. This is hard because Thomas Tuchel really does like him. I think that his experience, and especially playing against those lower teams that obviously don't attack as much, he's able to just get in behind the lines and he'd be that extra attacking threat. Whether he's going to be a key part, I severely doubt that he will be in the starting 11. Well, you can see the next guy here. He's probably going to be the starting left wing back. I'm going to say he's in the squad just as backup, unless we go and buy another left back. But for now, I'm going to put Marcos Alonso just as a squad player. Next up, Ben Chilwell. I think he has had a dip in form, but I think he goes into the starting 11 for next season pretty easily. Yes, he has had that dip in form, but he did play well against Liverpool. Did play pretty decently against Manchester United. Just needed to rekindle some of that form after he was out of the squad for a little bit. Obviously, Tommy T preferring the experience of Marcos Alonso early on. I think eventually Ben Chilwell will be the starting left wing back at Chelsea. And if it wasn't clear enough, I am going off the current 3 at the back formation. And here is quite a controversial one, I would think, is Callum Hudson-Odoi. Not maybe because of where I think he should go. He's either going to be a wing-back or he's going to be a winger. Like, he is turning into quite a good wing-back, especially against the lower teams. Just another extra threat up front. I don't think he's going to be in the starting 11 just because I don't think he's good enough defensively as a wing-back, and I think that's looking like the biggest chance he has in his position. I'm just going to go with him as a squad player for now. He is outstanding. I think he is one of the best young English wingers in the Premier League. Just, man, it's tough. It's tough. We just have so much depth in those attacking positions. It's ridiculous. Next up, we have Andreas Christensen, and based off the way he played against Liverpool, he is easily going to be in the starting 11. He was absolutely amazing against Liverpool. World class, I thought. He was man of the match other than Mason Mount against Liverpool. 100%. I think where Thiago Silva now goes in the team, if he's back fit, that will be very interesting to see, because I think Christensen plays best in the middle. He's not very good on the two supporting centre-backs, I think, but Thiago Silva is the same deal. They're very similar in terms of the position they play, but I think Christensen will definitely be in the starting 11. He's just been absolutely class. Next up, we have Emerson, who is another case of just backup, I guess, at best. Whether he stays, I don't know. There was always those talks with about Juventus and whether he will be going back to Italy. I'm going to say sell just because he's just not good enough as a wing-back. He's okay in a full-back formation. But other than that, I think he should just go. Next up, Billy Gilmore, Scottish wonder kid. The guy that no one can understand, apparently. Both Timo and NGOLO can't understand a word he says, apparently. And I'm sure most of the foreigners can't either. I'm going to say, I think Billy, as long as Jorginho and Kovacic are at the club, I don't think that, and NGOLO, I don't think Billy has a real shout yet. He is amazing, and we could see under Lampard just how good he was in that central midfield. I think he should be loaned out, though. Should have been loaned out in January, in my opinion, because I think he just needs that first team experience. Same with Baker and Angerin. Maybe Billy not as much because he has had that first team experience and has thrived. I just think he needs more time. Next up, the king, the French king, Oli Sexy Frenchman Giroud. Oh, man. I hope we extend his deal. I really hope we extend his deal. He deserves it. He has been absolutely class. Oh, but does he go in the starting 11? Oh, it just depends on the business we do, doesn't it? I think he will at least be a squad player. There's no doubt about that. Whether he's the starting striker, I don't know. Oh, man. I don't want to do Ollie dirty here, because he deserves it. He deserves to be starting, but I think I'm just going to put him as a squad player for now. Oh, man. I'm sorry, Ollie. I'm sorry. I love you. Oh, I love you, but I don't think you're going to be starting next season. Next up, Reece James. I think this one's pretty easy. He's, in my personal opinion, he's the most well-rounded right back in the entire Premier League. Maybe has been as flashy and as prevalent in the last few games under Thomas Tuchel. He was out the side for Callum Hudson-Odoi for some games, but I think he is just great defensively. He pings balls into the box like no one I've ever seen before, other than Trent, obviously. But I think just the way Reece plays, it's completely different to any other fullback, I think. Just how well-rounded he is. Obviously, he's probably not as good as Trent going forward, but he's only going to get better. He's only going to get better, and he's only going to get better defensively. Trust me on this, he's definitely up there with the best right-backs in the Premier League. Next up, Jorginho. Under Thomas Tuchel, I do think he will be in the starting 11. It's just how it is, and I think Jorginho has been great He was amazing against Liverpool. His stats were off the charts. He had great interceptions, great control. Like, sometimes I do complain about Jorginho because I think he slows down the play a little bit. But other than that, I think he's just a great distributor of the ball, and he does really well for the tempo of some games, especially now building out the back. We control the game, and I think Jorginho is a perfect facilitator for that. Next up, King Kai Havertz. Like, this is a real talking point, and it always will be while he's at Chelsea, unless he is banging in the goals and banging up the assists. 80 million was a lot of money, and I think it was a panic buy. I wouldn't say it's a flop because we haven't seen Kai at his full potential. He had COVID, and then he wasn't match fit, and it wasn't his fault at all. Thomas Tuchel is talking very highly of him, but would he be in the starting 11 next year? The way Tuchel plays, he'd have to be a false nine. He'd have to be the central man. I'm gonna say, you know what? I'm gonna say for next season, I'm gonna say he's in the starting 11. I'm gonna say it. If we are able to get Haaland, obviously Kai goes down into the squad as just a squad player because Haaland will be that 9. But if we don't get Haaland, of course there's that. I think it's obvious. It's gonna be like a 30% chance we get Haaland. That's my opinion. I don't think he's actually gonna leave. I think he will stay at Dortmund for another season. But if he does leave, it's between City and Chelsea. I don't think United have the funds to do it. But you know what? For now, I'm going to put Kai in the starting 11. NGOLO Kante. Look, I've got to be real here. He's not going to be NGOLO Kante forever. He's not going to be he already isn't the NGOLO Kante from 3 seasons ago. He's not the Leicester City Kante that we once knew with all that energy. And he is now being prone to those hamstring injuries and those injuries in general. What I think we should do as Chelsea Football Club is sell NGOLO Kante. It is the prime opportunity to sell him, get 60 million if possible, even 50, I wouldn't even mind, and then bring in an Ndidi or someone like that who's already an established defensive midfielder. NGOLO Kante, we probably won't see another NGOLO Kante in our lifetime. Just the way that he plays, it was completely different. It revolutionized Leicester City. And I think if he still has market value, we should capitalize on that, sell him, and then bring in those young players. In my opinion, we should sell NGOLO Kante. Next up, Kovacic. Easy. Chelsea player of the season last season. And I think he's been absolutely class again this season. Maybe a bit underrated, especially recently. But him and Jorginho just work together perfectly. I hope he stays at Chelsea for a long time. He's incredible going forward. Just that final shot, that final third of the pitch in the box, that's where his game is not the best. He's great from our end of the pitch to the 18, and then after that it's a little bit questionable. If he had that shot, he'd be one of the best midfielders in the Premier League. I think he already is, especially centrally. But I think if he had that shooting ability like Gundogan has, he would be up there as one of the best central midfielders in the world. Next up is Kepa, and I think it's quite obvious that he won't be starting. Whether he's going to be the number 2, again, paid the amount of money he is, I don't know. He has a long contract. He can do whatever the hell he wants, to be fair. I think he will stay. The reason why he will stay is because no one will buy him. Like, 70 million is ridiculous. I think Chelsea are going to ask like 40 mil for him. There's no way anyone's going to want that with the wages he's on and the way... Like, Kepa's gotten better. We can't deny that. He has gotten better. But I don't think he's going to be starting anytime soon. Which brings us on to Mendy. He is one of the most underrated goalkeepers, I think, in the Premier League because people just don't buy it. They don't buy that he's good. He's a great shot stopper. Obviously, shaky with his feet. Kepa is much better with his feet. but Mendy is able to make those saves. I think he's only made one real mistake, and that was against Everton, giving away that penalty. So he's going to be starting, but it all depends on what happens in the transfer window. Mendy is 29 now. He turned 29 like a couple of days ago, so he's no spring chicken. Good thing with goalkeepers though is that they get better with age. It's all about experience and it's all about the mind. I understand that as a goalkeeper, it's very much a mental game as much as it is your technique. It's mentally reading the game and mentally understanding what is going on. You can catch the ball perfectly however much you want, but if your brain isn't game ready, you will never be successful as a goalkeeper. Mendy's mental game is already up there. He's good, and I think he will be Chelsea's #1 goalkeeper next season. Next up is Mason Mount. Yet again, it's not really a question. He has been Chelsea's best player this season, most creative player. Going to the Euros, I'm so happy for him. He gives it all out on the pitch. He scores great goals, gets assists. Oh, the goal against Liverpool was just beautiful. Oh, got me out of my seat. He is great. Mason Mount is one of the best young midfielders in the world, along with Phil Foden in terms of the England setup. I love Mason Mount. He is definitely Chelsea's player of the season so far. Next up, Christian Pulisic. Oh my god, this could be hard. Injuries are an issue now with Christian, and for some reason Tuchel wants to play him in the false nine. It's very interesting what Tuchel wants to be doing with him. I want him to stay. I think he has a lot more potential than Ziyech, and I think the way Pulisic plays, it's very direct, and I don't think that's the way Tuchel really wants to play. I'm going to say he's still going to be in the starting 11 for now. Just because I think I'm just doing it in terms of our best possible side, and I think Pulisic is still probably top 2 best wingers at the club. But we'll have to see what happens. But I think he will be in the starting 11 next season. Tony Rudiger. He has picked up form recently, hasn't he? I think he definitely should be in the starting 11 next season. It's going to be tough. It's going to be a tough decision. I think him over Zuma currently is the right bet. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. I think Zuma is much better in a two centre-back formation. As we saw under Frank, he's one of the most underrated centre-backs in the league at the time. It's just going to be tough between now, I guess, Zuma and Thiago Silva. And speaking of, we have Thiago Silva. Thiago should be coming back from injury. He won't be going to Brazil for the international break. I think he still will be starting. We have the 3 centre-backs there. Hopefully, it'll all go well. We really don't know how it's going to work and whether we buy another centre-back. But Thiago Silva, the experience, the leadership is just unmatched, in my opinion. He's probably one of the best centre-backs in the league, even though he's like 36. Yeah, quality player. Next up is Tammy Abraham, posted loading as his Instagram caption today. Or yesterday, whenever you guys are watching this. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be tough. I think. Oh no. I think he's gonna. Oh, I don't know, man. I don't know where Tammy should go, guys. This is tough. I love Tammy. He's our top goal scorer this season. But if we get 40 mil for him and then we could go after Haaland, it all depends. I think he's going to... If he stays, he might even be a squad player. If Giroud signs a contract, I think he's gone. And I think the talks are going on with Marina right now. I'm going to say he's going to get sold. I'm not saying we should sell him, but I think he will get sold this summer, unfortunately. I love Tammy and I hope he does well. I think West Ham will probably be one of the candidates, and I think the most likely destination for him. But I think that might be the end of the road for Tammy at Chelsea. Next up, Timo Werner. Should have had that goal against Liverpool, let's be honest. He's going to be at least either the middle striker or the left striker of Chelsea next season. Hopefully, hopefully he will just be banging the goals like he did at Leipzig. I think he will be back. I promise you guys, he is not a flop. He's got like 19 goal involvements in 30 games this season. He is quality, and he's probably the most overhated football player in the world right now. 2 more to go. We have Hakim Ziyech. Oh, I think, honestly, he should get sold. I'm not convinced. He has not been playing well, guys. He really has not. And I haven't been impressed by him at all, especially under Tuchel. I feel like his right foot is just there to be stood on, to be fair. No weak foot, in my opinion. It's not that I don't like him. I think he's just, I wouldn't say overrated. I just think he's just not as good. And I think Thomas Tuchel he's playing him in that Mahrez kind of role. I think we should just sell him, because he's not a spring chicken either. He's another kind of situation like that. But I think we should sell Hakim Ziyech this summer. And finally, Kurt Zouma. I think he will stay, but I think he will end up as a squad player. He is still a good centre-back, good for rotation. Hopefully we're able to keep Tomori, because I think he is still quality, and that would give us even more depth at centre-back, and maybe we wouldn't need to go and buy a new centre-back if Tomori stays. But yeah, that is what I think Chelsea's squad will look like next season. Obviously, I haven't accounted for any signings or possible signings that could be coming. If Haaland comes, obviously, quite a few things are going to change. If we buy a new centre-back, obviously things will going to change. If we do sell some of the players that I said that we should sell, it's going to look completely different. Obviously, it is just the beginning of March. We are very far away from the beginning of next season. Hopefully, but I believe in the Thomas Tuchel project. Hopefully, he is given the time, and apparently he is being given a huge budget for the summer by Roman Abramovich. So who knows what's going to happen at Chelsea Football Club. I'm excited. You guys should be excited too. All Chelsea fans should be, to be fair, because the Thomas Tuchel project is real and it is alive. Anyways, guys, that is going to be the end of the video today. Thank you so much for watching. If you're still here, make sure you go and hit that like button down below. It would really help me a lot. And then while you're down there, make sure you hit subscribe and click the bell for notifications so you never miss one of my videos. Keep the blue flag flying high, boys. Take care.